So I've been asked quite a few times if you can resin over an acrylic tumbler, and I've never actually tried it. So today I'm going to attempt to resin over this Orbeez tumbler that I have done a few experiments on, and it's been quite tortured. So we're going to try to resin over this and see what happens. I'm also going to add some alcohol ink to this just to just experiment, and maybe some glitter. We'll see how it goes as I'm going along, but join me on this adventure. All right, so the first thing we're going to do with this is give it a very light sand with a very, very, very fine grit sandpaper. The reason we are doing this is because this tumbler is super, super smooth. So if you don't have something for the resin to adhere to, it will just come off. So we're going to give that a light sand, the whole tumbler. Then we're going to wash it off under the sink, and then we're going to dry it off really well. So all you have to do is just give it a light sand, just scuff it up just a little bit. Don't sand too much. You don't need to. You just want to make it so when you feel the tumbler, it's just got a little bit of a feel to it. It's not super smooth anymore. So just do this, and then I will be back when I'm at the tumbler turner. We're also going to need about, I'm going to mix up 30 ml of epoxy resin. I may not need that much, but that's how much I'm going to mix up just so I have enough. We're also going to need some alcohol inks, and if you want to add some glitter to this, that's fine too, but I'm going to bring a whole bunch of stuff over to the tumbler turner, and we'll see what I actually end up using. All right, so we're at the tumbler turner, and I've got my tumbler and I've got my resin guard. I love these resin guards. I'll link them in the description. I got them from Amazon. They come with many different sizes, and they fit pretty much any tumbler that you have. They save you lots of time. You don't have to tape your tumbler, and they're just easy. I like them very, very much. I highly recommend them. I honestly didn't think I would use them very much, yet I use them. Every time I use this tumbler turner, I use the resin guard now. So we're going to, I don't know if this is going to fit in there. We're going to make it fit. I don't know where my other piece is. See if that works. Let's say that's going to be a no. I'm going to have to push a little harder here. Or I'm going to have to go look for it. I think we'll be all right. Let's try that. I think that's going to work. Okay, so I've mixed up 30 ml of the epoxy resin, and we're just going to cover the whole tumbler in this. Now, because this is clear, you're going to have a hard time seeing where you put it, so just try to do the best you can. We should be able to tell after you've got it all covered, hopefully. And make sure you get the bottom as well. And do make sure, if this is a filled tumbler, that everything you want is into this tumbler, because you're never getting it open again after this. Well, I suppose you could if you really wanted to, but it's not going to be very easy. All right, so we're just going to try to make sure that we've got that as smooth as possible. And this probably isn't the best end to be using for this, but I cannot find my other one, because I usually use this one, but we'll just make it work. Try to get this as even as possible. Then we're going to let it turn for a minute or two here, and then we will start adding our other stuff to it. Now I've got my whole box of alcohol ink here. I've got some glitter. I've got my interference powder, which I love using on anything that I put on this turner. Just seems to work out really well and looks beautiful. All right, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. And I do have a little bit of resin left, but I think we're going to be okay. All right, so I've also got my little torch here, which if you've got any bubbles on your tumbler, just give it a quick little, that will pop all of your bubbles. This one doesn't seem to have any bubbles. I think we're pretty good. But if you do have bubbles, just give it a quick little shot with your torch, and that will get rid of anything that's on there. So I think I'm going to start with, we've got pretty much every color of alcohol ink here. I'll link these in the description as well. I also have some metallic ones, but I don't think I'm going to use those today. I think I'm going to use some different blues, maybe some pinks. So I've got a few different blues here. And we're going to add whatever I've got for pink here as well. Purplish red. I think that is pink. You never know. Oh, I haven't even used that one before, I don't think. I haven't. Find one that's open. It's purple. Got violet. That one I've used. And peach red, I think, is pink. Yeah, that's pink. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I think I'll start with a couple drips of, open the white, we'll open the blue. I think we'll do a couple drips of white here and see what we get. Oops, of course I pick a white that's not open. Let's try again. To not reopen new stuff when I've got old stuff that is still good. All right, I think we're going to start with some of this violet here. When I'm using these, I do like just flicking them so you don't end up with these huge big streaks. Like when you do a drip, like when you squeeze out a drip, you get a fairly big streak with it, but if you flick it, you tend not to get the big streak. Like if you just do that, just tap it, and you get more of kind of a drip instead of a big streak. I always find these super relaxing to create, these alcohol ink tumblers. I think we're going to do the peach red, which is pink. I do find that, I guess it's a miniature football, quite distracting inside there. Okay, I think we're going to add some of this, the white. Make these colors pop. Definitely gives an interesting look here, I will say that. And I like that you can kind of see through some of them, so I'm not going to put white on all of this. I do think I'm going to add some of my interference powder to this. These interference powders are from Let's Resin. I'll link them in the description. But they come in different colors, but they're really not a color until you kind of add them to something. So like this is silver, but they all look pretty much the same color. That's pink, but it actually looks quite blue. But there's a little card that comes with it so you can see what they actually look like. Whoops. They're very pretty. So I'm going to do, I think, the violet. Alright, so I've just put a little bit in the cap, and I don't have one of my little scoops, so I'm just going to flick some of this on out of the cap. And this is going to make this look so beautiful. All right, so I am going to let this spin for a while and see what it's going to do. I might add a little more of this powder here. I don't want to add too much, but it's just so pretty and I can't help myself. Definitely going to find my other holder. That I find the football and they're very distracting because it's colorful and it's hard to tell what that looks like at the top. I think I actually need a little bit more color at the top here. It's hard to tell with that little football in there that there's actually color on there or not. I think I'm lacking some color up at the top. Okay, that should be good. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of my interference powder, but I'm going to use the pink, which I don't think I've ever used before. Oh no, I have. I'll put a little bit at the top here on top of that blue I just did. All right, let's let this spin and I will be back after this is cured, so it's not going to be till tomorrow. I wonder if we should add a little bit of glitter to this too. Let's add a little glitter. I just want to see what it's going to look like more or less. So I should show you what I'm going to do. This is Recollections polyester glitter. It's blush rose. And we're just going to put a little bit on here. I think I'm just going to do a little bit at the bottom here. Oh, that's going to look really nice. Let's put it all over. This is one of my favorite glitters for for these tumblers because it's very iridescent once it's on. It kind of gives you different colors when it hits the light. We don't want to put too much on. That should be enough, I think. That's going to make that look very beautiful. All right, so we're back, and this cup is cured. I am having one problem here is the cup kind of tilted on the football, so it's all lumpy at the bottom. I am going to try this again, though, but let's take a peek-see at our cup here. All right. So this did turn out, and it does appear that it's adhered to the cup. It's actually very pretty, except for my lumps that I made. So I'm going to do this again, but this did turn out. It's very pretty. I think if this cup had like drip stuff in it, you'd be able to see inside of it a lot better, but because it's just the Orbeez, you can't really see too much going on. But I'm gonna chalk this one up to a success minus my own fail with this football, which I've made a new foamy for this out of a pool noodle and some other stuff, so it sits into this cup because this cup is so narrow. I don't have a foamy that's small enough to go in here, but this is really pretty. And I think what I'll do on the next one is I'm going to not put quite as much of the alcohol ink on there so you can see through it a little better, but this is really pretty. I love the glitter on it. It's very gorgeous. So what do you guys think? You think this is a cool idea? Do you think this is going to stay on here with some use? Have you guys tried this before? Do let me know, and thanks so much for watching.